wonderful.
I was gonna take my son.
The food is so good in
You
Peru.
both work for the airline, right?
No,
Yes.
for Lon?
No, Air Canada.
Oh, Air
I haven't
Canada.
seen you on. I saw you once when I went to.
I used to fly. I would always fly Air Canada back and forth.
Your triangulation podcast. On,
Oh yeah, we're on Air Canada. Yeah, yeah.
But I didn't see you. I was like, where is he? Like on the flight from Montreal to.
No, it's just audio. You can't see it.
I want to see more. He's like,
Oh. No, they put the show up there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was saying, oh man, I wish I could meet.
Oh, that's
maybe,
neat.
You know, up in Peru.
Oh, that's
you know,
neat. What do you do? What do you do for Air Canada?
Well, customer service.
Nice.
Customer service, yeah.
Nice.
When you lose your bag, you
I like Air Canada.
I'm the one who's taking you.
Nice. I love Air Canada.
Yes.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm going to toss to Dick.
All right.
But first, thank you so much. So nice to meet you. First, another shot. So there's this guy.
Are you drinking straight maple
Drinking
syrup?
again. There's
My
nothing.
kinda
I have
guy.
kind of a maple syrup, Jones.
Oh my gosh.
But I love it.
100% maple
It's all the maple, all the syrup.
all
This
the
is-
time.
This all the time. Hey, this makes trees grow really tall. It can't be bad for you.
My dentist approves.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the GizFiz.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for...
It's the Giz Fiz with the Giz Whiz. It's kind of like Cheese Whiz. It's the Giz Fiz. And now your host, Matt's Maddest Writer and the Giz Whiz, Dick DeBartolo.
Welcome to GizFiz PM. Brought to you by the Maple Syrup Makers of America. Okay, so we're going to go right to our chat room celebrity of the week so we can get him on the road. What is that blinky stuff? Tell me when our chat room celebrity of the week is in place, Alex.
He is in place right now.
He is. Okay, well then, ladies and gentlemen, let us meet this week's chat room celebrity of the week, Robert Heron.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You had the small stuff. Now, Robert, this is going to be a career-making moment for you.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah,
excited.
well, you should be.
Can you tell?
Okay. So basically, we don't ask any techie questions.
Oh, cool.
We just ask, we have a bunch of questions that the chat room always asks. Ignore the social security number because they try to trick you. Every chat room celebrity that we've ever had, and only 2 have revealed their actual social security number.
Not me.
All right, so Robert, so what we always ask is, for example, how did you hook up with Twit and Leo?
The year was 1999. I had been working for a hotel chain for quite a while, and I basically ran a room service department from 11 at night till 7 in the morning, and I did that for longer than I care to admit. But it gave me the opportunity to interact with many different people, many different ways, and...
What were you doing, IT for the hotel at night?
No, straight up running a room service department at the time.
Oh,
I've
okay,
always been in technology. I've always done projects on the sides and things like that. That was just like a day job, and I finally burned myself out on it. A buddy of mine was working at Tech TV at the time, and an opening appeared within...
Well, wait a minute. When you were hired and they said it's a day job, you
Yeah.
start 11 at night. Were you not suspicious that this is not a day job?
No, this was that previous gig that I worked forever
I
at the
see.
hotel.
Okay.
I was just I went from being a complete night owl for a good long time in my life to having normal hours that everyone else had, and it was fantastic. But anyway, that right around 1999, around I think September, I ended up becoming a PA, a production assistant on the Call for Help show that Leo was doing. I applied for a job. That was what was available.
Oh my gosh.
I took over for Roger Chang, his position, and he moved on to, I believe, the Screensavers. So that's effectively how I got in the door at Tech TV. And
Okay,
then
and was that in LA back then?
No, this was in the Bay Area, in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right, San Francisco.
Trying to remember when, I think it was 2004 or 5 that the the facility there was sold then to G4 Media, and the transition happened from that point forward. So after that, I ended up going down to LA for about a year or so, working for that group. And then after that, I laid off yet again in my life. Ended up picking up a gig. One of the very best gigs I ended up landing after that was at PC Magazine Extreme Tech, working in their test lab with some of the best equipment I'd ever had my hands on, some of the most knowledgeable people. And that, I think, was really like a turning point. In terms of home theater, it was at Tech TV in those original days. Being in Call for Help got me then, through Patrick Norton of all people, into the test lab. I was a lab rat for a good long time.
Oh,
and in there,
I thought PC Magazine was in New York.
Their headquarters is.
Okay, but you were working out on the coast.
And they had a facility, a great West Coast office that they eventually shot down. Yet another time.
Hey, Leo is so camera shy. It's kind of amazing. He sees a camera, he just runs away.
It's the handsome factor, man. It runs strong.
Yeah, no, that's why they have the Velcro on his pants and the Velcro on the seats, and they push him in it, and they don't let him up until he talks for an hour.
But I'll always look back at Tech TV in particular, because that's where I had a chance to just be in that lab environment, testing, starting off with computer hardware, things like graphics cards, hard drive systems, testing. And then eventually we got into home theater components, and we showed off some of the very first plasma displays back in the day. The first flat panels you could buy, I think they were all around $15,000 to $17,000 for 42-inch screens at
Oh my God, my first
1024 by 768 resolution. It was...
I saw it at Hemmeke Schlemmer.
Oh.
And it's a store that sells very high-end stuff. And you would go in it, and if you got close to it, you could get a sunburn. There was so much heat coming off it.
That never changed.
It was $22,000. And, you know, I think it was a 25-inch or something. But and so then, obviously, meeting up with Scott was Scott's Wilkinson, right?
Yeah.
Through Twit, is that how you guys met?
Oh, you know, that is a good question. Scott and I ended up running into each other at trade shows throughout the years. And I want to say there was probably an event, either one of the things Scott does really well is do interviews or do presentations with a group of panelists. And I want to say it was some event like that at CES that I first ran into him there. And then for whatever reason, we have very similar interests at least in terms of home theater. And it just became a way for us just to become quick friends and a mutual love and respect for each other. It's really all it comes down to.
Not trombone.
I wish I could recall specifically where I first met the guy, but that's escaping me at the moment. So
we're still giving you 100% on the test so far.
Thank you.
Okay, pets. We always ask, any pets?
I personally, due to my scheduling, I have been hesitant to ever own a pet because typically I'm not in my home for 12 plus hours a day, and I didn't want to subject an animal to that. However, I do live in a household now with a couple of dogs, and we had 3 dogs, one passed away, and then a couple of cats that, honestly, I was not much of a cat person until I met the red cat. And then it was kind of like the cat adopted me, I would say.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm at heart, I grew up around dogs. I grew up kind of out in the boonies where we had dogs all my life. So I think I'm a dog person, but that cat did.
And you live in a house?
Yeah, I do now. I share a house with a friend of mine.
Oh, great. Okay. And a house that you can walk around. You say, I live in New York City, so it's not a house unless you can walk all around all 4 walls. Okay.
With a real backyard, I can hang out and grill.
Wow.
A good environment.
Okay, and then life dream. Are you doing your life dream job, or if someone said you can have one other job, what would it be?
Looking back at my incomplete college education, I would say that one of the things that truly interested me was chemistry and at one time physics, but I had such a great chemistry teacher in college that it really encouraged me to reconsider everything I was doing and maybe go down that path, because going further down this road through home theater and everything, I realized that just about every form of electronics you look at, every form of a process of manufacturing, it all goes back to chemistry. And that, I could see myself being that, or perhaps a math teacher. but I really do like what I do. It's like
Oh my
I've got no
God,
complaints,
okay.
but I was just trying to think of something else. If I wasn't doing what I'm doing right now, it'd be something like that.
Something like that. Okay. Favorite gadget of all time, or favorite gadget of now, or a gadget that you thought changed your life or changed people's lives?
Man, it's hard to think of something off the top of my head besides
that's okay.
the cell phone. Number one. I mean, I've been handling these things since, well, we all had pagers back in the day. Those were awesome. And then
And
we
what was
had
your first cell phone like?
Yeah, just, what was it? It was a Nokia, one of the candy bar phones that's indestructible and lasts forever. And you know what? For what it was and for how long it lasted, that ability to communicate from anywhere. I had a taste of that as a kid in one of the very first cell phones you could get installed in a vehicle. And back in the day, we forgot to hang up the phone when we were using it one time. And the bill that came that next month was in the thousands of dollars. And
Oh my gosh.
we got a little chewed out on that one for not properly hanging up the device back then. But in terms of a single device nowadays that can do so much in terms of keeping me in communication, navigation, reminding me, linking to my calendars, and bringing effectively my entire compute experience in something I have in my pocket. I kind of thought that was the future, but I really didn't expect it to be here as quickly as it did, especially these nice flat touchscreen devices with quad HD resolution and beautiful color and things like that. It's just such a single device that I can't imagine not having one nowadays. It does so many little things. Took it on a trip with me. It was my primary camera for the whole trip, and video and things like translation. Probably #1 thing I used it for in a recent trip to Asia, and it saved my ass constantly. So I try to think of any other device in my possession or of recent use, short of things I just love, but that's one thing I could really point to and just say.
No, that is amazing. You know, on airlines, or at least on United, there's no more entertainment in the seat backs on the new airplanes.
Yeah, joy.
When you're at the gate, they say download. If you don't have the new United app, download it while we're still at the gate, and you have a cell signal. And once airborne, we'll be streaming all your movies and TV shows and everything. So
Southwest Airlines jumped on that initially, at least a while back, and they provide live TV. And they finally have upgraded their software to make it easy for the Android platform. But just being able to watch, like, oh, you're watching the sports game in the bar at the airport, you get on your plane, you continue watching that game throughout the whole flight. It's a great way to kill some time, if nothing else. However, for very long flights, nothing like having a notebook and a decent game or two, I would say. So.
Excellent. And you have time to take a couple of questions from the chat room?
Oh, of course.
Okay, very good. So chat room, a few questions for Robert, and then we'll let him go on. Are you going out to dinner with Leo, or are we holding you up?
Oh.
You have to go?
I need to get back to the house and check the dogs. It's currently like in the mid to high 90s here.
Okay. You want to,
but I will give a phone call and make sure and see if I can do that. That would be kind of fun. I would like to hang out with those guys.
Should we end it now so you can
No.
okay.
I'm good.
All right, so chat room, a couple questions for Robert, and we'll send him on his way. Oh, you can see the chat room right where you are?
Yeah, let's see. Armor All or Turtle Wax? I would say Turtle Wax. What TVs in my living room? You know what? I have a pile of Samsung TVs driving most of the house right now. The one thing I want to add is a projector. That is on my short list. I'm looking at that PF1500W, I believe it is, the 2017 version of LG's it's a DLP projector with RGB LED for just a beautifully saturated, robust lighting system. 30,000 hours, no problem. But it's so compact, and it has like a built-in over-the-air tuner, built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth if you want to run the apps built into it. But for I want to say $700, $750 on sale, that's one of the best 1080p projectors you can get right now in terms of just the functionality and the portability of it. Somebody else mentioned what my first computer was. Let's see. I think I bought I'm pretty sure it was a Dell box, the very first one I ever bought. And it had like the very first generation. I forget, it had just before 3D graphics started kicking in the 3DFX days. I wasn't comfortable building stuff at that point, and I don't really recall, well, I will say, Actually, my very first computer, I have to go back even further now, Atari 400.
Oh, Atari 800 here.
Yeah, and I had to get rid of that membrane keyboard and upgrade to a mechanical keyboard on it, and I think I quadrupled the 16K of RAM to 48K. But I still have that computer, although it's kind of rusting over, and I'm not sure if it actually fires up. So that was the first computer.
You remember how much 8K was to add to the Atari?
It was a fortune.
It was $99.
Oh, okay. But still.
Okay. I remember it said your Atari comes with 16K of memory. This is more than you'll ever need for anything. But if you need to add another K, you can do it with a cartridge in the back for just $99.
I'm almost certain I really wanted that computer initially because of the Atari arcade games that were available in cartridge format and things like that. And I got my first taste of programming on that very computer too, learning things like BASIC and a language called Action at the time. It reminded me a little bit of C today, but anyway, that was a great platform just to learn the basics and to have a lot of fun doing it.
Okay, a couple more questions, and then this man is on his way to wherever.
Oop, sorry for touching the mic. Let's see. What else?
Well, we have some silly
Actually,
ones
the first computer I probably used, where was that at? I think I had a computer at home before I had computers available to me in school. So I'm very fortunate in that respect. I had a dad who willing to throw down, at least on that initial investment, and see where it went. So let's see. I'd say, I think that Dell box I ended up buying, my first Windows computer, or DOS computer at the time, that was the last computer I think I bought completely assembled. From that point forward, I went to building everything myself. Just commodity parts and throw them together and do it a couple times and you get pretty good at it.
Oh, here's a question out of the blue. Did you ever act in school plays?
Not in high school. I do recall doing plays in grade school, like as just it was part of the class function, but otherwise, no.
Okay.
I would say the most memorable class I took in college was just a public speaking course. That probably did more to get over some of the uncomfortableness of it all. I don't think you're ever totally comfortable, nor should you be standing in front of cameras, but public speaking is one of those subjects and things I think everyone should do while they can in college because it applies to everything you do in terms of dealing with people, relating, getting your point across, job interviews. It's endless. So that's one thing I'll always look back on that. That's not really acting or theater per se, but that was super important, I felt. So.
Yeah, perfect. All right, one final question. Come on, chat room. One question that will change all our lives when we hear the answer.
I've had the tape. I missed the tape drive. And of course, I've lost all my Atari compatible hard drives since then. I did find all the discs, but I don't have I need to see if I can.
Oh, I wish I knew. I just threw out a Rana drive. Remember the Rana drive?
Was that the Indus one?
It was half the height of the Atari drive.
I had the Indus one with the tinted window that covered it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that drive was the finest. God, that was like a $400 floppy drive at the time.
It was exactly $400. It was exactly $400.
And then holding all of what, 77K on a.
Yes.
It was some ridiculously low. But you know what? Everything we needed it to do, it did, including.
I just couldn't stand. I needed the space, so I just opened the trash bin and out it went.
I do have a storage room that has a lot of older components and things I just kind of refuse to give up. So I do understand that. I have some old video processors. I have the last plasma TV Samsung ever made.
Oh my gosh!
It's a great room heater, but and glorious. The closest you'll get to OLED from plasma, but. Anyway, I understand the desire not to get rid of stuff, but if you need space, you need space.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Robert, we're going to let you go.
All right.
I've been in every issue of Mad for 50 years.
Awesome.
So if you'd like an autographed copy of Mad, and if you'd like a 35-year-old Alfred E. Newman picture that has not been reprinted in 35 years, I will send you one of those.
Heck yeah.
So Alex will give you my email, and just email me a mailing address. And thank you for being Chat Room Celebrity.
Thank you so
of the
much.
week. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Okay, take care. All right, chat room. So that was super. So we will have no videos this week, and we'll do George's photos for captions, and then we'll probably have room for a couple of match game questions. We'll end at 6 o'clock their time, 9 o'clock my time. Bum bum. All right. George Davis says,
Dick, for this,
notice. Give
Dick,
your.
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Oh, okay, sorry. For
All
the
right.
sake of time, do you want to skip the photos until next week, or do you want to do those now?
We
We
can.
got about 17 minutes.
Yeah. All right. We'll just do
We do
match
half-
game.
Okay.
We'll do match game, and we'll do 3 logo questions and then match game.
Okay.
So Dennis, if you want to come down, Pillsbury Crescent dogs are more commonly known by what name? Bum bum. Pillsbury Crescent dogs are better known by what name? No, not Charlie. Dun dun. Dog biscuits, food poisoning. I like it. Puke rolls. Crappy dogs, pigs in a blanket, brown hound, Lassie, Fido, artery cloggers. Not pigs in a blanket, but what was it? It just went by so fast. Not pigs in a blanket, but hogs in a comforter. Hot dogs and horseradish. It's very funny. Moon Fido, wiener dogs. Kremlin crackers, arsenic and old lace. How did that get in there? Alex, do you know Crescent dogs made by Pillsbury are more commonly known as?
Pigs in a blanket? Oh.
That is correct.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that is correct. What Pillsbury pastry is named for the appliance that you need to make it? Pillsbury pastry that's named for the appliance you need to make it. Dun dun. Okay, we have a little dragon this year. Really? Pop-Tarts. What appliance is called the Pop? Dun. Dishwasher rolls. Toaster strudel. Forklift fritters. The oven roll. Washing machine fish sticks. It's very funny. The magic oven. Toilet tasties. You're very funny today, chat room. Blender bagels. This is very funny. Garbage disposal muffins. This is very funny. It's take an appliance and put something next to it. Refrigerator rancids. That's very funny. Cuisinart cobbler. Alex, do you know the name of a pastry that bears the name of the appliance you need to make it?
Toaster strudel.
Yes, it is. Ta-da! Okay, we're going to do predominant colors.
Before we get to that, I think we have a sponsor
Yes.
message.
Oh my God, 25 cents coming our way.
Poppin' fresh Danish rolls. Danish rolls just taste better when you bake them up fresh and hot. Try Pillsbury Danish in the dairy case.
It's such a nice feeling, get to know. Poppin' fresh now.
It's very funny. Cooks in only 13 minutes. I remember I was shopping and I picked up one of those cinnamon things and I said, bakes in 13 minutes. Who has that kind of time? All right. What predominant colors we're doing? Predominant color for the Hoover vacuum logo. Predominant colors. Hoover vacuum logo. This one I know. My mother had a Hoover. Red, blue, plaid, gold, brown. Wow. Black, gray, tan, brown, black and white, gray, black. Well, they obviously didn't do a very good job marketing that. Chartreuse, brown, gold. Got some right answers, but I thought more people would. Oh, you know what? Maybe people don't vacuum anymore, or maybe people don't buy Hoovers anymore. No, they might be. Alex, is it possible that Hoover is sponsoring us and we will see for ourselves?
It's possible, but I also have the color ready to display.
You have the color ready?
The answer. I believe I do.
Oh, okay. Well, then, ladies and gentlemen, here is a visual answer to the predominant color of the Hoover logo. Oh, very good. Wow. The branding's a little bit off, but the color's correct. Predominant color of the Land Rover logo. I know this one too, even though I don't drive. Predominant color of the Land Rover logo. The color has changed over the years. Oh. Black, green, silver, green, British racing green, mud green, dark green, overpriced color, pea green, pea soup green, grass clipping green, forest green. All right, Alex, do you know the predominant color of the Land Rover logo?
I believe I do.
Okay, is it going to be a visual answer?
It will be in just a second here.
Okay.
Is it almost in?
And that TriCast is very tricky when it just comes to ta-da! That is pretty good. That is pretty good.
I also have a sponsor message from Hoover.
Oh, good. Let's see. Let's see if they are still using the red logo. Dun, dun, dun.
A lot of carpet takes a lot of caring for. And years of experience prove that to keep a carpet looking its best, you have to use the best. A cleaner that beats, as it sweeps, as it cleans.
Red logo.
Also prove the more carpet you have, the more you need Hoover.
There it is. Okay. Predominant color of the Hewlett-Packard logo. God, you know what? I don't. Doesn't seem to ring true. I don't have a Hewlett-Packard. I had the oh my God. Okay. Do you know, Alex, the predominant color of the HP logo?
I don't actually.
Okay, I thought it was. The chat room has it right. Predominantly, everybody in the chat room. Well, 70% of them. It is indeed blue. Maybe HP has a sponsor. Oh, everybody knows this. Predominant color in the Home Depot logo. Come on, chat room. I know you're all do-it-yourselfers. Predominant color in the Home Depot logo. Da-dan, and here they come. Now, this is interesting. Oh, Strengths, what country are you in? Burnt sienna. Dun, dun. And you know, Alex, right? The predominant color in Home Depot's logo?
I believe it is orange.
It is indeed orange. Hey, Dennis, you gonna play play match game? Whoa.
Here at Hewlett Packard, we believe that the best way to solve your business computing problem is to make it our problem. Because we know that whatever system we design for your company, we're going to live with it too. We never stop asking, what if?
Wait a minute. They have this incredible backlog of data requests.
You're right. What if we used the 3000?
Oh, okay. It's a wishy-washy blue, but it's blue. All right, Dennis, you can use those paper. Actually, give me a sheet of that. All right, and you can take that. All right, chat room, we're going to do like 8 minutes of match game. Okay. Jane got a ticket for selling blank in the park. Jane got a ticket for selling blank. How ticket was she? Chat room refuses to believe that every question, that every match game question does not have a built-in question. Jane got a ticket for selling blank in underwear, party favors, fake dog poop, grass. Grass is very funny. Alcohol, herself, lemonade, weed, Mary Jane, corn dogs, bird seed, maple syrup. This is probably the weirdest chat room on the internet. Measles, a timeshare, pirated DVDs, notepads of blank parking tickets. This is really funny. Very funny. Okay, we'll start with Alex. Jane got a ticket for selling blank in the park. Alex? Weed killer. Okay, very good. And Dennis, you said Tupperware. Okay. And I said for selling herself in the park. Black market gazelles. Unbelievable. I don't know. Kate says, my husband works for Nielsen, the rating service. He rates TV shows by the day, and at night he comes home and rates my blank. Husband works for Nielsen, rates TV shows during the day. How ratings is she? And he comes home at night and rates my blank. Housekeeping rates my opinions, my comedy video podcast, rates my grammar, whoopee skills, coffee making, dishwashing, poker hands. All right, with Dennis, we'll start with you. My husband works, not yet. Oh, come on, Dennis, it's easy. My husband works for Nielsen, rates TV shows during the day, and at night he comes home and rates my blank. And Dennis says, rates my IQ. Okay, we'll go to me. He rates my cooking. Alex, you said rates my cooking. Okay. Ugly Mike right there says cooking. A lot of cooking went by too. So that's good. Bum, bum. I think we have room for 2 more. This is one of the very early match game questions where it was very simple. Actually, this is the 140th match game question I wrote. And it is a bunch of blank. A bunch of blank. Early on, we felt every one of them shouldn't be a kind of double entendre question. So we had other blanks that were more mundane. A bunch of blank. A bunch of blank. Wow. All right. Let's see what we have up here. A bunch of malarkey, a bunch of habanero peppers, a bunch of gazelle, a bunch of grapes, a bunch of coconuts, a bunch of malarkey, a bunch of crap. Okay. Still have a match game question on the yellow index card signed by the GizFiz, says Swan Bart. Okay, Alex, we'll begin with you. A simple question. A bunch of blanks. Oh, Mel blanks. Okay. We would have to get the judge together. Judge, I wrote baloney and someone in the chat room wrote crap. Can we match those? Judge says no. Okay. And Dennis, you said a bunch of kisses. Oh my God, bunch of bananas is good too. All right, we'll do one more question and then we'll get Charlie in here. Bum bum. While King Kong was sound asleep, 2 pygmies opened an orange Julius in his blank. While King Kong was sound asleep, 2 pygmies opened an orange Julius stand in his blank. Shorts in his nostrils, in his navel, in his nose, shorts, fur, in the crook of his elbow. Wow, very poetic. In his general vicinity. That's wins. In his general vicinity, in his Whole Foods, in his armpit, in his ear. All right, we'll start with me. While King Kong was asleep, 2 pygmies opened an orange Julius stand in his in his navel. Dennis, what did you say? Navel, and we spelled it the same way. Okay, let's go out to Alex. Alex, you said?
I didn't get this one.
You didn't get it?
No.
Oh, look at the answers. In garage, his head is cage. Navel, armpit. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you want to go get the Charlester? We're going to get Charlie in here. In the meantime, we're still on a normal schedule for match game. So if you're free on Thursday, 4:30 California time and 7:30 back here.
Did you say match game or GizFiz?
GizFiz. Sorry, match game. Match game exists, but I don't work on it. I am not. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my gosh. It's time. Man. Look at your fellow. Oh, Hey, Charlie. Oh. Okay, I go to sleep now. Charlie loves. He just you put him, you hold him, and he'll fall asleep on your shoulder. Yes, Orange Julius. You know, I don't think it's raw eggs. I made it. I made it thanks to George Davis sent me the recipe. It was, what was that secret ingredient? It's a white powder. Orange Julius. Orange Julius is Chuck Grapefruit's more successful brother. Chat room, you guys are very weird today and very funny. Oh, maybe it was dried egg whites. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Giz Fiz PM. Giz Fiz PM is a Mark Goodson, Phil Todson, Dick DeBartolo, Dennis Wonderland, Alex Dumple, Jammer B, Beef Team, Rufus, Chumley, Y Guy, Stewed, Logan 5, Ranger Rick, Becky, Myra Joyce, Swamp Rat Production, brought to you by Turtle Wax. New Turtle Wax for making Orange Julius. It waxes your inside too. Till next time, see you. Bye. Everybody.